I see, I see. Can you please explain the issue of jurisdiction? What is jurisdiction and what is the jurisdiction of our courts?
So jurisdiction just means the court's competence or the court's authority to hear a matter. So there's several grounds of jurisdiction. When you approach a court, you first check whether the court has jurisdiction based on where the cause of action arose. Cause of action means the incident or the thing or the issue that led to this dispute arising. So for example, with a car accident, if the car accident happened in Blackstop, Northwest, you can't institute action in Durban. So that's where the cause of action wholly arose, because that's where the accident happened. And then you also look at your defendant, where your defendant resides or carries on business. So you follow your defendant. If the defendant is in Mpumalanga and you are in Gauteng, then you would issue summons in Mpumalanga based on the defendant's residence or where he conducts business. And then with, for example, a contract, you would then look at where the contract was concluded, and then you would issue summons there. So when the court gets an application or a summons, they first look whether they have the competence or authority to hear the matter and give a judgment on the matter. But what also happens with jurisdiction is that parties can agree to a certain jurisdiction, for example, in an agreement. So if the parties are not in the same place, in the same area, they can say that if any dispute arises between us, we are choosing the Johannesburg Regional Court, or we are choosing the High Court in Johannesburg or Pretoria. So with jurisdiction, sometimes the parties can elect where they want to go. But basically, it is going to the court that is fit to hear that matter.
I see. So I heard you say something about, okay, so you said parties can agree depending on the agreement. They can state in the agreement that, okay, we agree that if we have any dispute, the jurisdiction is going to be this particular court or located in this area. And then you also said that it can happen that, if one party is in Klerksdorp, for example, the party that is being sued, then the jurisdiction of the court would be that way that the defendant would be. So I just want to find out your thoughts on that matter. Why do you think that is? Is it fair? I mean, imagine if I'm just trying to imagine if I'm the one who's trying to sue somebody, why do I have to go to where that person is? Why can't the law accommodate me in my area? Do you think it's fair, or what is like the rationale behind that?
I think a lot of the rationale behind one of the reasons would be for certainty, because these are court rules. So you need certainty that we are only going to accept 1, 2, 3, so that it's not too broad where now jurisdiction is an issue and can you proceed and can't you proceed. When the rules are set out, then you know exactly what you're supposed to do, and it doesn't create any further confusion or wasting any further time. It's just standard. Whether it's fair or unfair, it's just the rules.
It is what it is.
It's what it is.
Yeah, okay. So I have a scenario. If, for example, Thabo and Gogezo, both directors of a company, they enter into an agreement to supply stock. So Thabo agrees that, undertakes that he will supply Gogezo with stock for maybe building supplies and in 3 batches, right? Now, and then it so happens that Thabo delivers the stock the first time, he gets paid. The second time he generates an invoice and gets paid as well.